Name is Kathleen Chandler, and I'm from the class of 2007. My question is, last night at the wonderful event you were at, you'd mentioned that being kind of anti-Canadian has stifled the conservative movement in Canada. And you talked about how that's really not good for Canada, much less the United States. So now that Canada won the big hockey game last night, what should our response be? How can we help the people of Canada see that we actually need a good, strong neighbor to our north?
Yeah, thank you very much. So apologies if I repeat myself for those who were there last night, but Canada is facing an election this year. And the Conservatives were a shoo-in. The Conservatives are led by an exceptional politician called Pierre Poilievre, who is, in my estimate, the best Conservative politician on the planet right now, in terms of his intelligence, his commitment, his energy, but also his patriotism and his belief in the kind of principles that the LPR upholds. On the eve of Donald Trump announcing a tariff on Canada, Pierre and his party were nearly 30 points ahead in the opinion polls. Now they are 2 points ahead. And that has happened for two reasons. First, in a time of crisis, people rally to the incumbent. And the leftist incumbent Liberal Party in Canada has benefited from people thinking, oh, what are we going to do? We all need to show solidarity. Second, because from a Canadian point of view, these repeated threats of annexation make the US Republican Party so unpopular that that has spilled over into support for the Canadian Conservative Party. And it's so needless, right? I mean, I assume that there isn't actually another plan to invade Canada. It was tried, I think, in 1775 and then again in 1812, and we've reached a place where I think it's pretty clear that the Canadians don't want to be invaded. But let's assume it's kind of lighthearted or whatever, and it's seriously, not literally, and all that. If you lived with a partner who kept on saying, I'm going to push you down the stairs, I'm going to stab you with a kitchen knife, I'm going to run you over, you might not take them literally, right? You might think that they're not actually going to push me down there, but would you really want to stay with them? You're going to be thinking, look, there's hostile intent here, right? And if only that talk would be replaced by something far more positive, right? Which is the idea of a union of the English-speaking peoples in defense of liberty. Donald Trump says we've got a terrible problem with a trade deficit with Canada, but he then says this would disappear if they were annexed. Well, that's in a way actually very revealing, right? Because if Canada was annexed, the same people would be buying and selling the same stuff to the same other people, right? Nothing would have changed. It's a very neat illustration of why trade deficits really don't matter and why there is never any correlation between a trade balance and the prosperity of a country. But why not just get that benefit anyway by extending to Canada the same sort of deal that I was talking about, where you just say whatever is legally on offer on one side of the border is legally on offer on the other. And then it wouldn't matter whether a product was Canadian or American, and everyone would benefit commensurately.